Hello. We all love to be physically active and enjoy the sport we play. But participation in physical activity and sport comes at a risk, the risk of getting injured. While there can be several reasons why injuries happen in sport, a good proportion of these injuries can actually be prevented. I am Dr. Swarup Mukherjee, an associate professor with the Physical Education and Sports Science Academic Group at the NIE, and let's talk about how to prevent sports injuries and enjoy safe sports participation. As we already know, injuries and sports often go hand in hand. Whether you're a weekend warrior, an everyday athlete doing sport for health and fitness, or preparing to compete in your sport, an injury can keep you away from your favorite sport, and this can be a worrying thought. Many a times, injuries may be considered as bad luck or due to other circumstances which are out of your control. While it may be improbable to completely prevent sports injuries, its chances of occurrence can surely be reduced. In fact, research has shown that sports injury rates can be lowered as much as 25 to 40% if only athletes take appropriate preventative action. There are precautions and practices that you can incorporate in your training to help better prepare yourself for activities and prevent sports injuries. This include practices like warming up, cooling down, drinking plenty of fluids, resting, not playing when you are injured, to eating healthy. Let's take a look at some good practices for injury prevention in sports. Number 1, warming up. Warming up is one of the most effective ways to prepare your body for exercise and reduce the risk of injury. A warm-up session should last at least 5 to 10 minutes and should start with doing low to moderate intensity activity like brisk walk or jogging. This should be followed by gently stretching the muscles, paying particular attention to stretching those muscles which will be used during your exercise. This better prepares them for the strenuous activity. Warm-up should start slowly and build up gradually to a more brisk and energetic pace. Warming up this way stimulates your brain, leads to more blood reaching your muscles, and prepares your body for more vigorous exercises and reduces the risk of pulling a muscle or getting a tendon injury. Number 2, be gradual and progressive. Try not to overdo it when starting a new activity. Build on your fitness levels gradually and set realistic goals. Knowing your limits means you have less chance of overloading a body part and having an injury. Lack of fitness increases your chance of having a twisted joint, a pulled muscle, or a heat-related injury such as heat exhaustion. Attempting to do too much when your body is not conditioned for it will also increase your risk of an overuse injury. Prepare your exercise programs in terms of fit, that is frequency, intensity, and time. Only one of these areas should be increased each week as a general principle. If you have a chronic illness or a family history of heart disease, or you are over 40 years old and have not exercised for some time, getting yourself checked up by your doctor prior to undertaking vigorous exercise is always advisable. Number 3, be fit to play, not play to be fit. Be in proper physical condition to play a sport. Remember that being a weekend warrior has a high risk and rate of injury. If you play a sport, you should adequately train for that sport. It's a mistake to expect that the sport itself will get you into shape. Many injuries can be prevented by following a regular conditioning program of exercises designed specifically for your sport. Number 4, rest well. Research shows that more frequent are your training or exercise sessions, the higher is the risk of injury to your muscles and joints. Not surprisingly, athletes with a high number of consecutive days of training have more injuries. While many athletes think that the more they train, the better they play, this is a misconception. Rest is a critical component of proper training. Rest can lead to better recovery, better adaptations, make you stronger, and prevent injuries due to overuse, fatigue, and poor judgment. Number 5, hydration. Drink plenty of fluids. We live in a warm and humid environment with the ultraviolet index between 6 to 10 for most parts of the year. Therefore, the body heating up and fluid loss due to sweating is always a threat while exercising. Drink plenty of fluids, whatever sport you play. It's essential to maintain your fluid levels to avoid dehydration. Dehydration affects body's temperature regulating ability, which means that you will risk overheating. Dehydration will also adversely affect your performance as your blood volume will be reduced, your heart will be unable to pump enough blood, leading to less oxygen being delivered to your working muscles. This increases the chances of fatigue and injury risk. It's best to start any activity well hydrated, and it's simple to check if you're hydrated. Just watch that your urine is clear and it's not dark. So drink before and during your sporting activity, and continuing to drink after you have finished will ensure that weight loss due to fluid depletion is adequately replenished. Remember that alcohol and drinks containing caffeine can lead to increased dehydration, so it might be best to avoid them. Number 6, diet and nutrition. The better the fuel, the lower the injury risk and the better the performance. A healthy diet and proper nutrition are important for athletes and fitness enthusiasts. A good nutrition plan is the foundation of an effective fitness program. Sports and exercise lead to energy depletion, which can lead to fatigue and increased risk of injuries. Healthy eating means you can effectively meet the demands of sports and exercise by replacing all the energy and nutrients depleted during the activity. This boosts performance and reduces the risk of injuries. It is important for athletes to eat regular small meals to fuel their training or sport. You should also take enough protein to promote health, support training adaptations, and enhance recovery from exercise. Number 7, don't play when injured. Now this is a really important one if you love sports. It's tempting to get right back in training or a game after an injury, but playing when you're hurt or before an injury has fully healed is a bad idea. It can worsen the existing injury and keep you away for a longer time. Be honest with your parents and coaches if you've been hurt. See a doctor or a physiotherapist for your injuries when necessary, and follow their advice about how and when to return to practice and play. Number 8, get enough sleep. Now, fatigue is a major risk factor for injury, and sleep deprivation is an underestimated problem. It's a major factor in chronic fatigue, pain, and impairs athletic performance. Getting more sleep boosts performance, enhances recovery, and reduces injury rates. Not many athletes out there get enough sleep, but following good sleeping habits by maintaining a good sleep hygiene can help you sleep better. It's easier than you think. Adequate sleep is a great way of improving performance and reducing the risk of sports injuries. Remember that sports injuries are not accidents or happen by chance. They mostly happen due to pre-existing risk factors, and you can reduce the chance of sustaining these injuries by following certain precautions and incorporating the best practices for safe and enjoyable sports participation.